ask you the first question. Do you think that in the industry, there is a North-South divide? Amyra?
Well, now, not really, because I think a lot of us are from Bombay, and like I think most of us are Bombay girls, at least like the three of us, and we're doing a lot of South work. So I think it's becoming better. I think the divide is actually disintegrating in a way. And I think maybe in years to come, there won't really be like a North-South kind of cinema that is there now.
But Manju, in terms of the industry in Kerala also, we haven't seen so much of what we say import of beauties that have happened, especially in the Kerala film industry. So do you think that they have managed to keep away while Telugu and Tamil industry have, and Kannada industry also, have called in the beauties because the directors or the producers want them so?
See, we are living in a time and age where everything is going global. And I also believe that it's a director's prerogative to decide who fits his character. So I think we should leave the decision to him. And as far as I'm concerned, being a South Indian, I've never ever had any experience of being sidelined because I'm a South Indian.
Well, I can see Shriya wants to say something at this time. But do you think that at some point of time, that what you've learned maybe in Bollywood and what you're trying to put in South Indian movies, be it across the board, Collywood, Tollywood, what are the learnings that you've had which you maybe imply? You think there's something different? Yes?
Language does change the flavor of the people. So when you're talking about Tamil or Telugu or Malayalam or Kannada, they have different sense of humor, let's say. For example, British humor is very different from American humor, right? So yes, the way you tell a story, the fabric of it sort of changes. But end of the day, nothing else really changes. Me as an actor, I would like to say that it's one country and it's Indian cinema. And as much as I can say, I think we need to stop. I sort of somewhere deny North-South divide.
Has anybody ever walked up to you and said, you know, this is what we expect of an actor, especially in South India? They have to look pretty, they have to be white-skinned, they're fair-skinned, and things like that. Does that matter? What exactly
No,
is
I deny that completely. Completely deny that. I don't think that's a problem ever, no.
So what defines South Indian beauty then?
In fact, I did a film called Manam where I painted myself black.
Yes.
I did.
Yes. But I'd also like to bring Tamannaah on this. Do you think, what defines a South Indian beauty then?
Well, first of all, I am from Mumbai and I've been working down south since I was 15 years old. And everybody in Mumbai thinks I'm from the south, and everybody in the south thinks I'm from Mumbai. So I basically face an identity crisis. Now coming to your question of what is the South Indian definition of beauty, first of all, I think beauty is unique. Like if you see the four women sitting, the five of us sitting here, including Rohini. Rohini, I think you're really beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And I think if there are no four divas here, there are 5 divas on this stage. And actually not 5, but there's every woman in the audience is a diva in herself. When I came into the South Indian film industry, the first comment was, Madam, kuncho weight put on pananga, kuncho on the... So I had this complex of always trying to put on weight. Only till recently I realized what they meant was be voluptuous. They did not mean be fat, because fat is not going to be likable. Or
which is the other way around, which we thought because they're kunjam little fat, that is why they were
chubby.
bringing the word. Oh really?
They want little chubby.
I've never had that problem.
So they actually don't mean become fat, and I recently discovered they don't mean become fat, because every time I used to become chubby, I start eating properly. I used to eat all the food on the set. I used to be like, okay, you know what, my director wants me to become a little chubby. And yes, of course, fair skin is something that unfortunately I'm obsessive about. And I being a fair-skinned girl, I can tell you one thing, that it's really not that big a deal that it's made of. 2 films that I worked in, I had to tan myself like how Shriya spoke about. And those were 2 really successful films, which includes Bahubali, which is one of the biggest grossers in India in general. I personally encourage women to, take up their own, the way they are, just the way they are, be it their color, their size, their weight, the way they look. I think accepting yourself is where beauty begins.
But I have a different perspective on that, because I have a different experience altogether.
Go ahead.
I can only tell you about my experience of having understood beauty by working in cinema. So far I've done only Malayalam cinema, except for a few commercials in Tamil, Telugu and Hindi, thanks to Kalyan Jewellers. And I know I'm not beautiful like, especially like a film star is supposed to look like, or
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we all beg to differ on this, don't we?
You know what? You're not beautiful. You're hot. You're bloody hot. Anyone out there who disagrees?
Hot.
What I was telling was, I can never pass for someone who is tall and fair and has like sharp features like a model. But yet I am sitting here among these beautiful ladies in front of you as an actor. And to an extent, I believe that is only because I was part of Malayalam cinema. Because in Malayalam cinema, our films and its creators, they have always believed in celebrating the inner beauty of the character, be it men or women, beauty that comes from character and self-respect, self-belief, or beauty that comes from having ideals and principles.
What do you think about roles? Do you think there are meteor roles out there in Bollywood for women? Or is it here also?
I think
now
times
we've
are
seen
changing.
changes. We're seeing a lot of changes.
Yeah. I think what happens is in Hindi films, there are a lot of multiplexes in different cities.
Yes.
So what happens is when it's a multiplex audience, a lot of women go and watch movies because it's multiplex. It's almost like going for shopping and you go watch a movie. Women are more comfortable. So when more women come to watch the film, you can make films which you don't have to be partial. You can make films which you can experiment with stories, because different kind of audience you're attracting to multiplex. But when it comes to Malayalam, of course, has beautiful stories, and Tamil, Telugu, I think all of them have beautiful stories. But when it comes to a Tamil film, for instance, it will be only seen in Tamil Nadu. Yes, it will be seen in different cities as well.
I completely disagree to that.
Do you get satisfaction with the fact that with the role that you have given, you obviously will take
No, but I'm trying to say why it happens is because there are only 2 multiplexes.
Right.
So there's less experiment that you can do here.
No, I've
but
seen
that
one thing for a
that
fact.
doesn't stop the films, and I think there are enough.
In Mumbai or in any other metropole, even in Delhi, for instance, I've come across a lot of people who said, "Oh, you know, I saw that film of yours, Khatarnak Khiladi." I'm like, you saw Khatarnak Khiladi?
That's true.
My film is known. None of my films are called Khatarnak Khiladi. No, but that film you were dancing and you were on that thing, and I was like, okay, so he's talking about a dubbed film. Because so many of our South films are getting dubbed and they play on these channels, and people love them because, you know, the South masala films they're so universal, and that's the reason they're catered to that absolutely BNC audience, and at the same time many other people like to watch it on television. That's the reason it's being taken and it's being dubbed, and people are enjoying it. So I think South films and North films have they give a lot of opportunity to.
But I think that the films everywhere. I don't think you get meteor role here, meteor
No, but I
role there.
still think Bollywood is still hung up on that glam quotient. You
And
know?
I would like you have Kahani, you have such lovely films.
I'm not saying it's only
You have
glamorous.
Queen,
but
which
I
is,
think
for me, is
South
the best
is
hero-oriented film.
experimenting a little more, because I would still say, at least for me, Anegan was the best thing that I got to do. But in Bollywood, again, it's still more glam. It's still more, okay, you need to look beautiful, you need to look beautiful.
2016 had most number of female-oriented films
Yes,
in Hindi.
That's true.
Starting with
and made women for that.
Neja, Urta Punjab.
I think Urta Punjab,
Kahani.
Kahani.
So many of them.
Innumerable
But the
films.
thing is, all of them are strong messages. They're strong messages which people look forward to, and especially at the time when we like to actually make ourselves known. Not about women empowerment, we've been talking for a long time, but using movie as a medium is something which is, making it stronger. But at the same time, do you think things, let me bring a news element to this. We've seen what is happening in Bangalore, which happens in many other states. Yeah. But at that time, I would like to ask of each of you individually in your comments, what do you think of Tamannaah? You wrote about objectifying women, and this is exactly what it is about, right? How do you react to this? Do you think there's this mindset ingrained, or is it that it's changing over the years? People need to be more sensitive?
So of course I'll just put a little light to what happened recently. I had a film that was coming out, and my director happened to make I found it a very strange comment, and I've worked with the director twice. And I actually called him up and asked him, why did you, I don't know if people know of the comment, but it was about the length of actresses' skirts, that he alters them and he decides what will be the length of an actress's skirt. That was the comment. And I asked him, why did you make a comment like that? He's like, No, but I didn't mean to say it like that. The problem in our country is that people do not realize when they're talking about a woman, what does it imply? So they think talking about a woman's skirt is not objectifying her, or not, it's not about bringing her down by talking about her like that, because she's supposed to be spoken like that about. She's supposed to be objectified. The problem is very ingrained, and it's a very basic problem that the country is facing, that people are, for starters, uneducated. And also the way they look at women is basically very, very different than what we want them to look at us as. So the problem is here, there's ignorance. If my director or if any other person who had a comment like this knew that he's making a mistake by saying something like that, I would still have some hope. But here the problem is they don't even know that they're making a mistake by saying something like this. So how does the ignorance is so much that I don't know who, I personally don't like coming on public platforms and putting out my opinion, or giving out my opinion strongly, because I think my opinion is fine in my own head. But the problem is, the day the criminal justice system in our country changes, we won't be having mass molestations like what we are seeing in, because in other countries people don't get scared when they're going on the streets, or in the middle of the night on the 31st night if they're alone. They don't feel scared, but we are feeling scared. हम लोग की माएँ बोलती हैं भाई ऐसे कपड़े मत पहनो, ऐसे बातें मत करो, ऐसे ड्रेस मत करो, because what to do if it's so unsafe out there? Who wants to send out their girls? Who wants to send out their kids outside and take the risk of losing someone or having a bad experience to their loved one? So it's a very sad situation in our country, and it is a very big problem we are facing today. As actors, we can come up and we can talk about it, create awareness, but the problem needs to be addressed on a much larger scale, is what I think.
The youngsters look up to you all. How do you all react to it? What do you say? Push away? Fight back? And do you think that films largely should be made in such a way that we could actually give messages to? We have films happening there.
See, films are meant for entertainment. I'll tell you one thing. Films are definitely a medium of entertainment. Yes, there are many films that can be entertaining, at the same time give you a message. So yes, it is to some extent our responsibility to amalgamate the two and bring it out to you.
Yeah, I completely
But at the same time, primarily movies are meant for entertainment. Many a times when there is a glamorous song, we all take, like I know of my journalist friends here, we all take inspiration in wanting to look good. There's no harm in celebrating your sexuality. That is perfectly good, and it's healthy. So the thing is, the way glamour is projected on screen, we all take inspiration from that. But sometimes there's a certain section of the audience that always has to look at it in a lewd and a perverted sense.
Right.
That's a different problem that you're facing. And then people look at it like that, then there's another perception to it.
Amyra, have you ever faced a situation where you feel that there's somebody who's talking or making a comment on your face, and you were so stunned that you won't be able to reply?
No, but I think that happens to all of us on Twitter and Facebook, where we get these stupid messages, we get stupid comments, and at the end of the day, I'm just so sick of hearing, oh, she wore a dress like that, she deserved it. Like, I want to slap someone when they say that. It's pathetic.
It's a beautiful line I read that miniskirt said, miniskirt cried, it was my fault, and burqa whispered, the same happened to me as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Fantastic.
But when it comes to films, I think it'll only change. See, it's a male-dominated industry. Men get more paid than women do. Let's face it. Yes, you have female-oriented films, and they're doing extremely well. But primarily, it's a male-dominated industry. But when you're talking about Bangalore incident, I think the problem is, films can't do anything. You have men who go to Kali Mandir and go to a goddess temple, pray, bend down to that, and actually, do full puja and come out, and they're teasing women outside.
Right.
So there is no connection. There is, so you can go watch a film which is female-oriented, but then we'll come out and still tease a chick. So it doesn't teach. We're not like preachers anywhere.
Sure.
And also it keeps happening again and again and again and again. Because for the longest time we said, oh, par wo to kisi ki behan hai. She's also someone's daughter. You should treat her well. But beyond that, we're also individuals. We're not just someone's daughter, someone's wife, someone's sister. We're individuals. We need to be treated well. And men keep doing it again and again because the action comes very late. By the time for the longest time was a bailable offense till Nirbhaya happened. And even if it's not proven a rape, they're out on bail.
But Manju, you think women have to be a lot more safer in terms of how they approach themselves and talk these days?
Why
Could it
do
be
we
more?
need to be safer?
Because I'm asking, is it really
See, a
necessary at this
woman's
time? You have to be
safety should
careful?
not be at the mercy of a man's actions. So she should be safe irrespective of what a man does. I mean, what a man thinks of her. Like, that's what a woman's safety means to me. Making a more female-oriented movies with strong messages is not the solution. Actually, the
Completely,
solution is should be made in the change should be made in the outlook of the society, the mindset of the society. The sons, especially, or everyone in the society, should be taught how to treat women with respect, and that is where the actual solution lies. Lack of awareness.
And education.
I don't think it
No,
has
just
anything to
simple
do with
upbringing.
education.
Exactly. Like, I have a younger brother. We're just 1 year apart, and my parents brought us up completely equally. It was like, if Jahangir can do it, you can do it too. It was never, oh, he's a boy, he can do it, you sit here, you do this. No, it has to be equal. You have to be taught from that age that boys and girls are equal, that they're both individuals, just like Shriya
Completely,
said.
yeah, completely. But I also feel, especially in public spaces, I remember I was in Delhi going to college, and there's this guy walking around running naked towards me, and I was scared, because I wasn't scared because I felt I could not do anything. I wasn't scared because I felt I couldn't help myself. What I was scared for at that point, at that minute, was that there were so many people around me, not one guy came and helped. That I was afraid of.
But that's the fear
I
you
am
have.
like, how can
why-
you not come and do anything? And at least that was this. I'm talking about 15 years back. But today,
It's still the
contrary to
same.
helping, they just take
They'll watch.
videos.
Yeah, they'll watch. Yeah, they still watch. 15 years ago or 15 years later, we're still in the same state. But
No, but I also think if we can, as a nation, we have to also take up self-defense for women, again, as a very important cause, because I mean, till something actually happens, women have to be safe. And if I play a warrior's character in Bahubali, if I've learnt anything, is to first be brave. Another, you have to have that killer instinct of wanting to protect yourself. Protecting your own self is very, very important. So self-defense, like I know of Akshay Kumar having, he does work for training women for self-defense. I think more people should come forward and start training women in self-defense.
while we're at it, I'd like to now ask all of you quickly 5 things that you have learnt in the South Indian film industry, which it's literally a lesson for you, which you, like you said, you learn self-defense. So 5 things like that. Starting with you, Tamannaah.
Punctuality,
Okay.
the language, Tamil and Telugu, respect for elders and for people who work with you. 2 more things. I think I have a better memory thanks to learning all my lines. So my movies taught me that. And
This is
how
movies.
to-
South Indian films taught you to a lot more respect. You're seeing there's less respect in the other in terms of in Bollywood and other places.
I have worked in the north and the south,
Yes.
both the industries. I realize it's not the industries that are different, it's the people that are, like there are times you work with different people in Mumbai and there are different people here. So you'll find, it's not, the industries are not different. Every individual is different.
I mean, I've worked only in South Indian films, so the things that I have learned from my experience is hard work, of course, and team spirit, and punctuality, and humility.
Whatever they said is what I've learned as well. But more than that, when I came to films, I was only 17. And I remember going to films, and back in the day, the only female on the set was you and your your hairdresser. Women were not allowed to be makeup artists back then. It was only recently it started. So I learned how to conduct myself. I've learned how to be brave. There are times I shot all alone at night. But most importantly, I'm thankful that they give me a chance to be able to tell a story, to be able to be part of people's life, to be able to be part of cinema. My failures have taught me to work harder. My failures have taught me how to be humble. My hits mostly, I I get really numb. I don't realize what's happening for 4-5 months, and then I realize, oh my God, I had a hit. But they've taught me how to be stronger and work harder again.
First thing I learned was padding, literally. What? In South, the first thing I learned about was padding. Like they padded me everywhere. Like literally, I was 20 when I started Anegan, and I like everywhere. I didn't know there was like padding for your thighs and your calves and all. Man, like my stylist was rock on. So that was the first. But yeah, even like Tamannaah said, I learned a lot about respect and punctuality. And it's not like Bollywood is disrespectful or something like that. It's just there's a certain charm to the South when it comes to people, and they're just more caring for one another's feelings. And I feel really happy every time I get to come to Chennai, every time I get to work in the South. It's just a different kind of aura. And I think that's the best part about it. And it makes you become more professional because, you know, you wake up with that like sheer happiness, like Shriya said, you know, like when you hear action, you're just there and you're ready and you've got like those butterflies in your stomach and you're just happy to be there.
I think it's the responsibility of such people, such fortunate people like us, to spread happiness and to give something back to the society. So I think that is a huge responsibility that we all have.
I also know that you have a very beautiful voice. And Manju, I'm going to make you sing first. Yes. Okay. Now, Tamannaah, everybody's going to get their chance, but I want to hear that lovely voice of yours because I know you've trained. And
I'm not trained.
But in the sense, the whole idea of the beauty that comes from within. What's the most favorite song that you want to sing at this time? Because in the South, you caught unawares, but that's the whole point. Because we want you to sing something which comes from your heart.
Oru ratri koodi vidavangave, oru paattu mooli veil veelave. Padiye parannennarigil varum azhaginte toovalanu.
Can we have a great round of applause for her?
I'm sure you'll change your opinion on my voice.
Fantastic, fantastic. All four of you are going to have a dance-off.
We're wearing heels.
Yes, that's better, isn't it?
அப்படி போடு 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 அஸ்தி போடு கண்ணாலே இப்படி போடு 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 இழுத்து போடு கையாலே
உன்னோட புறத்துட்ட உப்பு மூட்டை ஏறிக்கிற உன்னோட கண்ணை பொத்தி கண்ணா மூட்டி ஆட வர இந்த நட போதுமா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் வேணுமா இந்த நட போதுமா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் வேணுமா
Applause, ladies and gentlemen. Why is there so much of silence? What a sport!
Thank you so much. Thank you for being such a